I'm going to propose to you that expectations are actually ruining your life. And when I say this, a lot of times people say, oh, you're missing the boat. And how could you even say that? When we're thinking about expectations, it's often the kind of thing that we're told, yes, have expectations, have high expectations. The way I approach expectations is more about evaluating standards. It's more than semantics, it's more than word choice, because an expectation is not just a standard, but you are really attached to how that standard is met, who is meeting that standard, and the way that standard is or isn't played out. And that's the part that is the biggest struggle. When we have standards, we have clear boundaries. And there's another video I hope you check out that helps explain more about boundaries and healthy boundary setting and what that looks like. So if we're going about our day and we're expecting people to be excited about the same things we're excited about, or like the same things we like, or feel frustrated in the same way we feel frustrated about an event, we're setting ourselves up for disappointment because we're not allowing that adaptability or that flexibility in our thought process. And we are attaching to someone else's response. When we allow our emotions to get tied to how other people respond, what we're doing is literally taking our power and saying, here you go. Here is my power. I have just now given you the puppet strings to my life, so make me dance. And that's scary to think about, right? I think of that and I think, oh man, I am not passing over my puppet strings for other people to make me dance. I got my own moves that I want to make, right? I'm sure you do too. Shaking your tail feathers. How fun is that? So expectations, are they really worth it? I would argue no. Think about the standards you want to maintain and what those look like for your life. I'll give you an example. A standard that I like to uphold when I'm teaching is that we give everybody's full attention and respect to the person presenting. I often ask people to raise their hand. Raise your hand if you like to be respected. Then we talk about, well, what does that standard look like for this engagement, whether it's in the classroom or in a professional setting, training people. The way I curate that conversation is talk a little bit about what that looks like. Eye contact, no distractions, things of that nature. So when inevitably someone does end up getting distracted, I can redirect, bring up that standard again and say, let's make sure that we're maintaining that standard, focusing first on what I want to have happen, which is important, rather than you are being respectful, which, nobody has time to hear that and people just start shutting down. So what's the point? But the other thing is, it's so much less frustrating for me because I'm going to reinforce that standard and say, hey, let's make sure that we're honoring each other in our shares and what we can learn from each other. But I don't have my emotion wrapped up in it. I don't take it personally that someone interrupted me. And that's really the difference between expectations and standards, is it allows you to shift your thinking enough so that you don't walk around taking things personally all the time and then be really reactionary. So if we choose standards over expectations, we get to a place where we're able to respond rather than just react, which keeps us in fight or flight. Who wants to live that way? I know I don't. So thank you for joining me today on expectations. There will be lots more on this topic and so many others moving forward. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and I'll see you soon.